People are getting priced out of comfortable living, or really living in any sense of the matter. Whether you just personally hopped out of school into the workforce with your overpriced diploma and undervalued degree, or if you're on the other side of the spectrum and closer to knocking on death's door than ever before, we're all screwed just about the same. Well, if you personally feel like you relate to anything discussed in this video, or you simply like the topic of the collapse of society, feel free to like, comment your thoughts, opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily or bi-weekly uploads around here at 12 p.m. Central Time. And huge shout out to all my supporters, especially my channel memberships, my Patreon supporters, and everybody who's reacts to the content over here. You can check out the details, all that stuff down below in the description. Now let's begin.
Experiencing what they call peak stress, and they're experiencing it earlier than anyone. A survey of 2,000 adults found most people burn out at around 42 years old. But for Gen Z and millennial adults, now the ages 18 to 44, the highest point of their stress happens much younger, at 25 years old.
Wow.
So,
All right, 25 years old. And you are looking at a modern day 25-year-old right here, folks. I am peak Gen Z. You know, there's some videos I see when I'm scrolling through my For You page and my different, online social media apps, and they just make me want to jump straight to my camera, grab my microphone, and set up shop, because I think that I couldn't really express this sentiment or this message better or more clearly than this news anchor did right here. This is the biggest issue with people my age and people around my age, is this is their problem, is everything he's portraying.
when they were asked what's causing their burnout, most people said finances, followed by politics, work, and their physical health. 7 out of 10 agree that it'll only get more challenging to be an adult within the next 10 years.
The real reason why.
And that's the thing, is that not only is there all these problems and they keep, adding on, and the older you get, the longer the list of problems get, it's that there's really no hope in sight for the future, whether that's some sort of retirement, whether that's some sort of peace in your job, because there's really no safety net in most people's jobs anymore. And the whole idea of a career is just completely gone out the window. And that's really what everybody's livelihood is based off of, is where their income comes from. So we'll get into this a little bit more here in the video.
Gen Z is broke and lazy. Gen Z spends all their money on avocado toast and coffees. All they do is sit on social media and they don't want to work. Not true. We want to be able to afford a decent living, but can't even move
Avocado toast. Where do you even buy that stuff? Does Starbucks or Caribou sell avocado toast? I'm not a big fan of coffee. I guess I wouldn't know.
out of our parents' house. You had the opportunity to afford a house because things cost less and you had way less debt than we do now. But let me
She said we can't afford avocado toast, so we don't even have the choice to move out of our parents' house. Ain't that the truth?
show you the numbers. On average, Gen Zers get a graduation present of more than $20,000 in student debt. That's 13% more than millennials did. And research shows it takes 21 years for us to pay off our student loans. So we'll be in our 40s still paying off tuition. But wait, college...
I don't know the stats. I probably should have looked up this video as well. I wonder what the average is of how many people actually enter college anymore compared to back when the millennials or the baby boomers were even at that type of age level. Because I feel like more and more people don't even join college anymore unless you want to be into certain career fields that need that type of degree or, whatever.
In 1970 cost $394 a year. Okay, but that still doesn't mean they aren't lazy. They want everything handed to them and for somebody else to pay for their choices. That is not true. Gen Z is actually one of the hardest working generations. This study shows 76% of them take responsibility of their own career. And more than half of them are willing to work nights and weekends for a higher pay. Key difference is
that is true, though. I think the whole blaming like a generation, like, oh, Gen Z is lazy, or oh, boomers messed up our whole world, I don't think that's necessarily a very true or very realistic sentiment, because out of any generation, there's lazy people and there's hardworking people. There's people who want it and people who don't want it at all. So it's I don't think it matters what age you are. I think it's person to person, really by the individual.
that Gen Z speaks out about working tireless hours and being paid little.
Your generation's greatest downfall is that many of you feel you could do it better and that you could do it on your own. When I grew up, it was go work for that company. Right. Work for that company, pick your profession, go work for that company. The only people who were self-employed had landscape trucks and pizzerias. And outside of that, I didn't even know who else was self-employed.
You said it, you put a lot more trust in your mentor.
That's actually so interesting to think about, because when I was growing up, I never even really thought about working for myself. Obviously, I always wanted to do this content creation stuff. Even since I was a kid, I grew up watching YouTube, so it was always my dream to be able to do YouTube and have people watch me and grow sort of a community out of it. But at the same time, I don't think I never really thought about self-employment. Now, kids as young as middle school, that's all I think about is damn, what's my business going to be? This screw a summer job, screw mowing lawns like I did, or shoveling snow like I did. I still do that just to make an extra quick buck on these like different Facebook gigs, on the Facebook pages and the Facebook groups. By the way, that's a great place to make a little side buck if you need that, if you're unemployed like I am, or if you just overall want to make some side money. There's many different ways. So on Facebook pages, Facebook groups, great way. Definitely recommend that. But yeah, working for a company, there's really no trust in that. But you're pretty much better off just completely risking it all and, choosing your own number on like the roulette wheel of life, and just hopefully you hit it.
If you had a Michael Jordan to your Scottie Pippen, and you're like, you know what, I don't care what this dude says, I'm going to go and do it. There is no trust nowadays because our mentors are fabricated. They're not real people. They're people online.
The sooner your
They're no different than
generation
you or me.
figures this out, the better they'll be, because it's emotionally strenuous to try to figure out, who am I? What am I going to do? How can I do it on my own? And try to build it. That's why sometimes follow. It's okay to follow and learn until maybe the opportunity does present itself to become something different.
The segment of this video and genuinely thank the few that go above and beyond in terms of support around here in this channel. Starting off with a huge shout out to Elizabeth for this massive Cashapp donation that she just dropped on me. Things like this help me out so much more than I could ever truly put into words. Also, I really want to give another huge shout out to David. This is not the first time he's donated, and he's always really helping out around here in terms of support, especially going a long way. Signed up to the Patreons. We have been chatting for a few weeks now, and if anybody wants to check that out, you can check it all that down below in the description. Thank you, man. I really do genuinely appreciate it. And the fact there are actual people out there support me so much like this really means the world to me. Honestly, deep down, I feel bad receiving any sort of donations. Honestly, so many of you guys keep asking for links to support me over here. So just for the few of you, I will throw up a couple different ways that you can support me, and I will throw those links down below in the description. You can check those out and see all the details down there. Please, nobody feel obligated or mandatory to show your support through this method. Your time in your community means so much more than you know. Now, back to the video. Thanks again, by the way.
Gen Z has it very tough. In fact, every new generation is going to probably have it tougher unless things change.
Like I said, folks, there's no hope in sight. It don't matter who you are, how old you, it don't matter who you are, how old you are, or where you're from. We're all screwed.
Because Gen Z is dealing with, the student loan debt crisis, the housing crisis, the car crisis, the food inflation.
I ran out of fingers.
Everything is so expensive now that it has squeezed Gen Z to oblivion, such that a lot of them have multiple roommates or are still living with their parents. And the job market's not good either. So they're coming to a bad job market with high inflation, a high cost of living. Not a good time for them. And of course, it's not like millennials have it easy, or any generation really has that easy.
Let's not point the finger and do blame games.
Gen Z seems to, based on the data, have it the worst.
We need a hustle in order to pay rent, pay food, and just survive out here.
Alright, I've been seeing so many clips of the Australian government and how it seems like Australia might be just as fucked, if not more fucked than we are. So let's hear some of these young folks out.
I have 3 jobs. I work as a teacher, I work in retail, and I work in a gallery as well.
So I have two jobs.
Gen Z could be working more than any other generation. That's what the latest ABS data shows might be happening. Thank you. More than 900,000 Australians are working 2, 3 or more jobs, the most since records started. When you look at workers 25 and under, 9% are working 2 or more jobs. In 2017, it was under 6%, so year on year.
Now, you're working so much, hopefully you're making a lot of money. I wonder how much that's even getting saved. I wonder if they're spending it on any sort of luxurious lifestyle, or if it's all just going into bare minimum necessities to get by and survive. I think the latter option is probably more certain.
That number's going up. And a lot of those young people juggling multiple jobs are also casual workers, which has experts worried there could be generation-wide ramifications, with low pay, long hours, and a lack of job security leading to widespread dissatisfaction, stalled job progressions, and just an unhappy workplace.
Man, unhappy workplace, unhappy life, unhappy people. And an unhappy world, unhappy everything. And I don't think that's just the overall consensus that everything sucks. We shouldn't even enjoy life. I think there's so many ways to enjoy life, even through these different types of struggles. But I don't think it's necessarily good to ignore these types of things and topics, because many people more and more are facing them and dealing with them. And again, I will reiterate myself again. It doesn't matter what generation you're from or how old you are. Now, we're kind of focusing more on the Gen Z, millennials, younger folks. I feel sorry for the alphas. Or for the alphas, I guess they call them, the Gen Alpha, that's the new one, I guess. Either way, I'd love to hear all your guys' thoughts, opinions down below about the current day economy, the cost of living, and the future of things, because no matter who you are, there's a future whether you and I are here or not. So, feel free to let me know all that down below in the comments. I do appreciate all you guys for supporting. I do really want to shout out my channel memberships, my Patreon supporters, and everybody who supports me over here and just rocks with the content. You guys make my world go round. Either way, I do appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.